Hi, it's Steve here from A470 RC Soaring, and back with another video. You may have remember seeing in my last video that I unboxed this model here, which is the P1B Sky Voyager. It's a rubber powered model. Yeah, it's not a glider, not radio control. It's something completely different. It's taken me back to my childhood, and we're going to assemble this today. Now, although I say it's not radio controlled, it isn't, but it is my intention later on to fit this out with single channel radio control for rudder only. And the reason I'm planning on doing that is because with free flight models, ideally we need a really large area to fly in. Okay, and ideally again without any trees for them to get caught in. Well, I do have a couple of fields that I can fly on which are a decent size. However, one of the fields has got houses nearby, and I don't particularly want to have to go knocking on people's doors saying, "Excuse me, please, mister, can I have my model back?" like I did when I was 14 years old. And the other thing is that this is a really good quality model. Although it is a beginner's model, it is also a competition model, and it is perfectly capable of getting caught up in a thermal and me never seeing it again. And there are ways around that. You could fit it with dethermalizers, but probably what I'm going to do is the radio control route, fitting it with rudder only radio control. And that way, at least I should be able to steer it and keep it within a much smaller area within the field. If it gets caught up in a thermal, well, at least I can maybe put it into a steep spiral turn, you know, to bring it down. It's something I'll have to wait and see. Anyway, we're going to get on with this. So let's get this opened. Now we have the wings and stabilizers in this pack. I'm just going to set that aside over there because and there's some extra rubbers there which I'd purchased. I'm going to put those aside. There is an instruction booklet here, but it is in Chinese. And as I said in my previous video, my Chinese is a little rusty. Okay, so I'm going to chuck that over there. Okay, we have the propeller, and that is nice and loose on the mounts. I did see a video that was saying that when these arrive, they can be a little bit stiff and you need to loosen them up, but this is plenty loose enough, I think. So there's the propeller. Another bag of rubber. Then we have the tail boom. Okay, so the vertical stabilizer will fit on there. These should slide, as that does there, as will the horizontal stabilizer. One that should move. Oh, it's quite stiff, but that needs to move forward. Oh, that's really stiff. Let me just move those out of the way and I can maybe get a grip on it. Okay, it is moving. Okay, so anyway, these will be for the vertical stabilizer, and these are for mounting the horizontal stabilizer. So we'll just put that to one side there. We've got some rubber to make up the motor. Now, apparently this rubber is quite good, but it's not the best, which is why I bought some extra. And it appears it's all a little bit on the tangled up side. So let's just see if we can free that up a little bit. Let's just wind that up. Okay, so there's some rubber. Okay, there is the wire for pulling the rubber through. I'm going to need that in a minute. In here as well, oh, there we go. There's a carbon spar for the wing. I'm going to need that in a minute. So I'll just put that out of the way. I'm going to open up this bag. Some more rubber. Okay, and there is the spinner. I'm going to need that first. There's the peg. This is the rubber peg, which it holds the rubber inside the pod. I'm going to need that in a few minutes. Okay, so, and then there's some other bits and pieces. So we'll just leave those in the bag for the moment. Now we want to go on to the fuselage, and this whole mount moves, so you can move it that way and you can move it backwards and forwards. Let's see if we can, there we go. So I'm going to put it about midway, and I want it so that the peg tube is going to be sort of horizontal, 90 degrees to the wing boom. Okay, so put that just aside for the moment and go on back onto the propeller. Now, excuse me, the propeller is going to fit onto there like that. So I just want a little bit of CA. Okay, so let's get a little bit of tissue there. A little bit of CA. I'm just going to put a little dab of CA on here. And it's sticking to me. There we go. We're on. Okay. And that's on. Right. Now then. So now we're going to move on to the fuselage pod and the peg. Now this peg, as I say, holds on the rubber. So I'm just going to check that fits. Going through. And yes, it does. Okay, so pull that out. Okay, so that fits in there fine. Okay, so now what we want to do is to take our rubber and measure it out. We want it slightly longer than the fuselage, so about an inch. Okay, about an inch longer, roughly. Okay, so that's about it. And then I want 4 strands of that length. Okay, so let's just do this. 1, 2, 3. And 4. Okay, I'm going to cut that. Set that rubber aside. Now what I want to do is I've got a length of rubber now, about so long, and I want to put a little dab of a lubricant, rubber lubricant on this. go. And then I'm going to tie this in a knot, just an overhand knot. Pull it good and tight. There we go. Now then, I just want another little drop of CA just to secure the knot. There we go. Actually, it's very thin CA, is that? Just let that dry a minute. Okay, and then I'm just going to snip off the ends like that. Okay, so now what I need to do is I want to lubricate this rubber. So I'm just going to pour a little bit of this rubber lubricant into the bag. There we go. I'm going to drop the rubber motor in there like that. And I'm going to get the rubber well and truly lubricated. There we go. Okay, so let's take that out. All gooey. Okay, let's find the knot. And now we need to double that over. Okay, and then we're going to get the hook. And we're going to put that through both strands. And then from the front, we drop that down. I'm going to thread that through. Okay, now then, what I want to do is pop the peg so it goes through both strands. There we go. That's in both strands. And I want to grab both loops again, pull them back out the other end, attach them to the propeller. So there's an eye on the end of the propeller, and it just goes through there like that. Okay. Now I'm just going to wind up the propeller a bit. So I just need to put that in there. Make sure the bearing engages. Pull that out. Let's give that a bit of a turn now. I need to get a few strands. Get those few strands wound up a little bit. Just going to pull this out and make sure you can see that the rubber has actually come out. It's ridden up the eyelet. Okay. Let's take that off. This isn't as easy as you'd think. Just trying to grab hold of the other loop now. go, we got the other loop. So let's put the one loop through there. Okay, so that's on. Without dropping the other one, I need to get the other loop on. Okay. Okay, I'm going to keep winding now. Just going to pull that out and just check that hasn't, no, it hasn't made its way up to the up the eyelet there, so we're okay. Okay, let's put that back in. Okay. So there we go, that's okay for the moment. And then, right, so let's move on. So we want to get onto the wing now. So, okay, so we need to move, let's move on now onto the wings. So the bits that we want for the wings are this piece here, and the wings themselves, and the spar. Now, I want some tape, some scissors. Now, just put that on one side. Okay, so the wings are going to go together there. And then this spar, carbon spar, is going to fit into there like that. Now, you may notice that just along from the leading edge, about a centimetre in from the leading edge, what looks like a mould line. You mustn't take that off. It's actually, they call it a turbulator spar. And apparently it's very important to the flying of this wing. If you remove that, if you file it down, then it won't fly so well. Okay, so we need to keep that there. So I want some tape, and I'm going to tape the spar onto the wing. Let's just cut that off, kind of roughly the right length. Okay, let's put that there. Okay, so I'm going to lay the spar onto the wing. Okay, just secure that slightly, trying to hold it in place. Okay, and that's the clear tape on there. Just a little bit of a wrinkle there, so let's just pull that off slightly. There we go. Okay, now we can connect the other half of the wing. And there we go. So that's the the wing joined that way. Now we have this reinforcement piece here, and that's going to go there. Now there should be some double-sided tape in here. Apparently it can be a little bit awkward. So, but we shall give it a go. Oh. Peeling this off. There we go. Okay, and then that's going to stick onto there. Now is that okay, maybe not. I thought that would have been sticky, and when I pulled it away from the okay, doesn't seem to want to come apart. Now there's a lorry outside reversing. Okay, so we'll forget that and we'll just revert back to the sticky tape. If I can find the end now, there we go. So what I'm going to do, just cut a bit off there like that. And put that over the top. Okay. Push these two bits of the wing together. And stick that down. Okay, that's that. I'm just going to put a little bit more tape on the underside. As I say, the tape that comes with it is double-sided, so it's only tape at the end of the day. And we'll just put that on like that. And there we have the wing joined on like that. And then in this bag, there should be some other rubber bands. And then the wing will just fit onto this seat like this. Pull it over. Straighten it up. And there we go. So that's the wing fitted onto there. Okay, so now what we need to do is to move on to the stabilizers. So let's get these out. Get rid of that. Okay, and then in this bag there should be 2 small orange pieces, reinforcement pieces. Okay, there, and we will need another rubber band. Okay. So, the vertical stabilizer is going to fit onto these clips here. And so I'm just going to move it slightly rearward. Let me just check this first of all. So there should be a couple of marks, and I can't see marks, but they need... So putting the horizontal stabilizer on, there, I can see that the stabilizer protrudes further back than this rear mount. So I need to push all this forward a little bit. So let's see if we can... Okay, just back a little bit. Okay, that seems about right. So we have, again, a reinforcement piece which is going to go there, and then another one which goes onto the bottom, like so. And I can actually see, it does look like there is a little mark there. Okay, so we need to get these reinforcement pieces taped onto the stabilizer. So I'm going to get a little bit of tape. Let's just snip that off. There. Okay, so that's that bit there. Take my reinforcement piece here, stick that on there like that. Okay, and then we're going to put that onto the leading edge. Like so. Not quite straight. Let's just try again. Okay, there we go. Move it around. So it should have been double-sided tape, but that's fine. And then we have the one at the rear, which we need to do the same with. Okay, so let's just put that there. A little bit more tape. Okay. Here's that. And then that is going to fit. You can see the mark there. Because this is what the elastic band is going to connect onto. Okay, so that's now on. Now, on the boom here, you might be able to see it, you might not. There's the two little slots, one on either side. The elastic band is going to fit onto there. Okay. Through there like that. Going to fit into those slots if I can get it right. Okay. And then the elastic band just goes over like so. And that's the rear stabilizer on. Okay, now before I put the vertical stabilizer on, I'm just going to fit the boom into the fuselage pod without getting it caught up, without it getting caught up onto the rudder. Ooh. And it seems a bit tight. Will that go on? It's feels quite fragile, this, so I'm just trying to be careful. There we go. I think it's catching on the rubber itself. Let me see if I can move that rubber a little bit. There we go. That's done that. Let's try and get that back in. Oh, the pegs come out slightly. There we go. Oh, wrong way around. There we go. Bit of a tight fit. Okay, so that's the boom on. There we go. That is a bit fragile, I have to be careful with that. Now then, the vertical stabilizer, I can move that back a bit because I want that mount there to be just in front of the trim tab. There's a crease in the fin there, which is your trim tab, and so I want that to be just in front. So let's push that down. Okay, it needs to go does need to go a little forward. Okay, and then the forward one can go backwards. Needs to go a bit more. Okay, so that, and it all looks pretty square. Okay, I just need to put a little bit of CA on the mounts there, just to hold that in place. So now that that's that, then let's just drop a tiny little dab of CA onto there we go, and then push that in, make sure it's in the right place. Okay. And there we go. Light as a feather. Flying a gnat's fart. Okay, that wing just does need to move over just slightly. Oh no, wrong way. Okay, so that's pretty square now. And we're all ready to go and give it a test flight. Now, I did mention about turning this into a single channel radio, and my intention will be to get a single cell LiPo battery and mount it just forward here, and then under here I'm going to mount a nano servo and the receiver. But that's for a later date. So we just need some decent weather now to get out and do a bit of a test flight. And that will be for another video. Links in the description below to this model, and looking forward to giving it a fly. So, if you've enjoyed this video, then give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel if you already haven't, and we hope to see you on a flying field soon.